Okay, so here we are. This is my grow tent. It's an iPower. It's 48 by 24 by 60, and cost about 70 bucks on Amazon. This tent I use for starting veggies, and then I move them under a different light when they're done, because this is an old light. It's an old cob, and it's good for things, but it's more of a spotlight, so I get better coverage under my spider farmer. So what I do in here, I start transplants, and then, you know, when they're ready to be potted up, they go into my kitchen garden. So this is automated. If you look here, you can see two deals sticking up. This is set up for flood and drain. So the water comes out the short one, and then it drains back in through the tall one. You can see the water level on here. And so I have a tray, and inside the tray I have these kind of like waffle grids. They're seed flats, but the reason for that is to help keep the plants up, not sitting in water. You know, so underneath here, I'll show you, I have another tub, and this is full of nutrient solution, and then there's a pump that goes to the short one here to flood the water in, and then it drains back into the reservoir once it's done. So it's totally automated, and it's on a timer. One of the things I like about this tent is it has a pocket on the side to put stuff in. So I've got a plug strip, and I've got my light timer plugged in. This little timer here runs my water. So you don't need to flood it a lot. I flood it about twice a day. You have to make sure you don't give little plants too much water. So a lot of times I will start them in a small pot, but I'll put some like grow stones in the bottom so that there's room for the water to totally drain when the water level goes down. But as to the question of is it worth growing vegetables in a grow tent, I would have to say it definitely is. You can turn any corner of your home into a grow space, and you also, that way you won't have plants sticking out in your living room or stuff like that. So there is a lot of stuff to this. I don't know if I can show it all to you, but you do need ventilation. So this fan here moves the air around inside the grow tent, but back here, I think you can see it, I've got a AC Infinity 4-inch fan, and it goes out because you need to have a way to exhaust the warm air. Any light, no matter what kind it is, whether it's an LED or fluorescent or whatever, it's going to make heat, and in a closed environment like this, you need to be able to exhaust it so that the temperature doesn't get too high. And the nice thing about the AC Infinity fan is it's got an adjustable speed, so you can really get your temperature down. As far as humidity goes, not much of a problem in most homes, you know, and you've got water here evaporating, and you've got plant humidity, so some humidity will get out. If it's really, really dry in there, you could put a small humidifier in, but usually it's not necessary. So, you know, I like my grow tent. I've had this one for about a year, and it has stood the test of time quite well. The only issue I've had with it is the zippers. When you get down around this corner, they want to catch a little bit, and what I found is if you just pull out on the tab as you're unzipping it, the problem goes away entirely. It's just kind of one of these things that they have a couple of flaps to help keep extra light out, and sometimes the zipper catches on it. Not that important for vegetables. If you were to flower cannabis in here, you might be concerned about getting light in, but not a big deal for veggies at all. You do want a timer for your light. I run my light 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Don't try and rely on yourself to remember to plug it in. You'll forget. I guarantee it. So it's a pretty good tent. It's got a Mylar lining, and I replaced another tent with this one, and I have to admit this Mylar material is actually better at reflecting, but the canvas itself seems to be a bit lighter weight. But overall, you know, it's got a metal frame, and it is 2 by 4, and those are outside dimensions, so you need to keep that in mind. And you don't have to do it this way. I just like to automate stuff because, you know, that way I don't forget. All I got to do is remember to keep the reservoir filled with water, and it works really well. I have another one where I have a top feed drip system. That's a little more complicated. This to set up is really basic. All you need to do is get the fittings. They cost you, I don't know, less than 10 bucks for the 2 of them. And you got to drill the right size hole, put it in, and then you hook your pump up, and you can get a pump for, oh, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks, and you're golden. The fan that I have, that AC Infinity, is about 100 bucks, and it's worth every penny because it's adjustable. My old fans were not adjustable, and you can buy a fan speed control, but they don't work right. They make a really loud humming noise, and they're bad for the fan. So the only other thing, there's a piece of gear that cost about 100 bucks that you can add to a fan, and I forget what it's called, but anyway, that's the only way to do it without making the fan hum. But these, the good thing is they've got a little thing that goes outside the tent with a push button, and you can control the fan speed. So, you know what you do, you know, like I've got this little temperature and humidity thing here. You monitor your temperature and adjust your fan speed accordingly. And really, it's a good way to grow. You can grow a lot of things in here that you just could not grow outdoors at that time of year. And for me, because I'm in Western Washington, we have really cool summers, so anything that's really heat loving is hard to grow. I mean, even tomatoes are a bit of a struggle. So melons, absolutely not. Sweet potatoes, absolutely not. Anything like that that needs a lot of heat, you can grow it indoors, but not outdoors. So I like to call it zone denial, which means I have my own little climate zone and I can adjust it how I see fit. So if you're thinking about it, you will have to spend some money and you'll need a light, but if you're really going to do this, if you want to grow vegetables year-round, and not worry about the weather outside, then having a grow tent for your vegetables is 100% worth it. All right, listen, y'all, take care, and happy gardening, and keep it green, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.